DeRoy Cruz here, Life Applications Officer, here to get on your nerves. You know how I am. I'm not here to compliment you for being non-Christian and non-thinking. Everything is okay in this big world of violence and hate and racism and you know, children out of wedlock and children growing up to be thugs and battles of the religions, battles of the anti-religious to the religious, battles of races, battles of children against other children of other races, battles all over the world. They're lying to us about everything from the coronavirus all the way to the moon. They're lying to us. But this right here is Random Yoko, my girl. I'm here to talk to you tonight about, I was going to do a video. I'm still on the subject of black people and white supremacy, white privilege, systematic racism. George Floyd, we needed every country in the world to participate in these protests for a career criminal, because why? Not only was he a career criminal, but it does not matter because he was black. I'm learning. I'm black. How come I don't know this? You mean to tell me that I can go out there and do whatever I want to do? And it doesn't matter, you know, what I do. If you put your knee in my neck, if you choke me and I can't breathe and I got asthma, so it's going to be quick. I'm going to go out quicker than George Floyd, okay? You're telling me that if I go out there and do a crime, it's okay as long as white cops don't put their hands on me. It's okay even if I have a gun. And I was going to shoot the cop anyway because I have my back turned and I have my hand on the gun. Forget it. I'm just learning this. Like I'm shocked. Like it. Anyway, this is Random Yoko. Random Yoko. I am hurt, Random Yoko, Miss Yoko, to find out that you are married. Love and Vain Blues, Kip Mo said. Love and Vain Blues. Gary Clark Jr. said, Love and Vain Blues. Oh, man. Love and Vain Blues. But I love Yoko though because her and I have a lot in common. We have so much in common. If she was not married, I think I'd be getting on a plane and going to Japan to see if she wants to get married. Let me say that again. If she was not married, I think I'd be getting on a plane and flying to Japan to see if she wants to get married. Because not only is she gorgeous, but she's a sweetheart. Just loves everybody. Except one thing. She's one of the only Japanese that did not condone, Black Lives Matter coming to Japan, bringing that nonsense in there, talking about, oh, we need to have a office of Black Lives Matter, and I'll show you that in a minute, in Japan. Oh my God. She did not condone you bringing white guilt to Japan. We ain't white. Why are you bringing white guilt over here? I'm not white, I'm Japanese. I might look white, but I'm not. I'm Japanese. Look at my eyes. Look at me. Look at her. But oh, we got white guilt in Japan. She was just talking about this. Like, oh my God. And then I saw this video, the last video I did before I watched her. This young girl, she looked like she's fresh out of middle school, but she's in college. She's going to school in Japan, teaching English in Japan. The girl has a good career ahead of her. And then, you know, like the guy, I've been following this all day. This is what this video is about. I've been following this video all day called The Black Experience. And it's actually a black experience that I agree with, that I can understand, that I can connect with, without a whole bunch of arguing back and forth and criticism, until he interviewed this witch from Black Lives Matter. Who, oh, she's having no problems in Japan like she is in the U.S., but yet she feels that you need a Black Lives Matter in Japan for what? Everyone's trying to figure out for what. Yoko here, my sweetheart, is trying to figure out why she needs that. Why? See how when I say that the worstest thing that happened to black people is black people? Trust me. When I tell you that the biggest problem in America for black people is black people. Trust me. Okay? Because it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. And all these white people were afraid to say, you, shut up. Get out of the room. Because it would be the most racist thing ever. But back in the day, when black people knew their place, they knew how to dress. They knew how to learn. They knew how to have good manners and good mannerisms, and you didn't do crime outside of the black community. You didn't do crime in the big city back in Martin Luther King's day because you automatically knew that you was going to end up like George Floyd. But yet, there wasn't no black people crying about, you know, all these little things that don't mean anything. That's the first video I watched. Give me a second. I'm going to show you more. Here's a video here. Here's a video here. This crazy witch right here. She couldn't wait to get on there and talk about, oh, look at my hair, I'm LGBTQ. Like, who cares? He didn't ask you nothing about the gay community, sweetheart. He asked you about your experience in Japan and you know. And then he was trying to wrap his head around, even though he's trying to understand her, he was trying to wrap his head around like, okay, my whole channel is about black people finding solace and peace and love in Japan, but you brought Black Lives Matter over here. Okay, I can understand that Japan was very nice to us by protesting George Floyd's death and the way he died here in Japan when that ain't got nothing to do with Japan. However, I'm trying to understand you, like, why you felt that you needed to bring Black Lives Matter into Japan. And he's being very nice about it. But I found out that he don't agree with everybody he talks to on his channel. You can see it in his face. He definitely is just going to let, okay, like Colin Flaherty, even, you know, like Jesse Lee Peterson, even if I don't agree with you, show us how we can reach your Patreon. Show us how, you know, we can, you know, visit your channel and be a part of your cause if that's our choice. Which I can tell you right now, his whole thing is about finding black positivity in Japan. He ain't trying to, I don't think, let Japan become like America. Now I wanna get to some things here. I'll let this go out on me. Got two things going here. Ooh, went right up. So we got random Yoko out of the way. Okay. Here, one of his videos, and again, it's called The Black Experience Japan. The Black Experience Japan. You people that think that you're going through something so bad here in America, you should go to this channel and listen to what these people have done to find solace and to find a home and a life and a retirement in Japan. You should look up this channel and check it out. First of all, most of them are veterans. A lot of, especially the oldest ones, most of them are veterans, and just about all of them have gotten there, even this guy, by teaching English. Even the stupid BLM girl, okay? She got there by teaching English, okay? Most of them teach English. What part of you're here to teach English don't you understand doesn't make you Japanese? That's why you need, in order to live in Japan, see, I don't think none of them get that. In order to live in Japan, you need to be able to do certain kinds of work, or they have no need for you. That's the same way for Japan, the same way for Russia, Korea, Germany. You know, if you come over there, you need, first of all, to be a college graduate, you need to have some skills that help other nations connect with America, or they really don't need you. You have to really be doing something that the people of that nation cannot do. But these guys talking, they're like, oh, I come over here to Japan and there ain't no racism over here. There ain't this, there ain't that, there ain't that. I got news for you. Pay attention. I dare you to go over there and be poor. Like over here. I dare you to go over there and do what black people do over here in America. I dare you to go over there and be poor. I dare you to go over there and go to work and act up and act a fool at the job. I dare you to just go. You can't just go over there and walk off the job because you don't like your supervisor. Okay? These men have this fear when they go to nations like Japan and Korea. They have this fear that I better be on my best behavior. This guy here said it out of his own mouth. And the difference between him and a lot of people that might be watching my channel is he went to the bar. And they told him, no blacks allowed. That did not make him get back on the plane and come back to America. Why? Because he's more educated than that. He's got a better personality then, then to let that get to him. He even explained to the host that I wasn't going to let that get to me because there's a lot of people here in America, or I'm sorry, a lot of people here in Japan that don't feel that way. Well, I feel the same way here in America. If I go right now, and I've been to a few over time, been to several, where they didn't want my black behind in there. Okay? My black buddy was waiting out in the car. How is that racism out of control? White dude sitting there in the car waiting for him. Well, we'll go somewhere else. I mean, first of all, these guys are veterans, a lot of them. They were in the Army, the Marines. They come out of the Marines, went to college. This is their rap sheet. Then they come to Japan teaching English. And one of the things that they don't talk about, well, some of them do, is the fact that they had to put their whole rap sheet on the table with these Japanese people in order for these Japanese people to accept them. Oh, you do that here in America? We'll be having riots every day. Not just when George Floyd dies. We'll be having riots every day. How dare you ask me what I've done for my entire life? What makes me think that I would be, what makes me think that I would be suitable to live and do things in your country? Why did I pick your country? Whew, there's a lot to learn here, people. These guys are super positive. I mean, even more than me. I mean, like, these guys are super positive. I mean, this guy right here, some of the backlash that he got, especially for being a rapper in Japan. Okay, me as a Christian who really ain't into rap, okay, his rap music is making him money. It's paying him to travel all over the world. But, I mean, rap ain't my thing. You know what I mean? I would never even consider, if I was a rapper, to bring rap music to Japan, or you know what I'm saying. But found out later in the video that he actually does the rap clubs. He does all his work in the Philippines and Thailand. He really don't do it in Japan. He lives in Japan, he works in Japan. But the rap career, which he's hoping to take over, might not happen in Japan because Japan has a right. And see, the one thing you don't understand is that you're not going to come over there to Japan as a black man and overfill Japan with black people. You're not going to make it a melting pot. It's not going to happen. Okay? But I'm tempted. I'm tempted to get on a plane and go myself and say hi to Random Yoko while I'm over there. Anyway, and the way these guys talk and the way they act ain't nothing like, and they're very positive, and the way they talk and act is not the way a lot of black people over here in America talk. It's not the way they act. It's, I mean, do blacks living in Asian nations act different than black Americans? Oh my God, yes. Oh my God, yes. Do blacks living in Asian nations act different than black Americans? Oh my God, yes. I mean, all of them. Even the little goofy ones who is an accountant. And he moves, and he has his own financial businesses where he teaches you how to be financially secure, financially, debt-free and all that stuff. He got his own. He has a website, and he's making a fortune at doing this. Moved to Japan. He's also a rapper. He's one of the videos I watched. One of the first videos I watched on this subject, and him and a friend of his travel just about all the Spanish nations and just about all the Asian nations for one thing: booty. To me, that's nasty. I'm a Christian. Okay? To me, that's nasty. If you're going to travel the world, don't travel the world for booty. Especially, you know what I'm saying? Now, I mean, you know, I just think that's nasty. You know, that's not only nasty. I didn't know, you know, and you know, going all the way back to Dragnaut Silvas, like, you know, he's a veteran like these guys. He's got a lot of skills up under his belt. But you can be nasty and build a good life for yourself. It's okay. I'm sorry, it's not okay for me to be nasty. I'm only nasty when you piss me off to the extent where I don't care anymore. Ask Dragnaut Silvas. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. You know, like once it's over and I'm done with you, then that's when I get nasty. But I don't live nasty every day. Nasty doesn't work for me. I don't, you know, if I can't get away with it like some of these blacks do, with this education, like Dragnaut Silvas and his stalking people on the internet, and then you got this black girl bringing Black Lives Matter to Japan, like, oh my God, okay? I can't do nasty like that. I think God would strike me with lightning if I did that, because I know better. Like, that's just nasty. And then these guys want to brag about going to Japan for booty. And they talk about talking to women. Well, when a woman already decided that she's a hooker and she's going to sleep with you anyway, I'm not impressed with your conversation. That's not a conversation. Now, a conversation where a hardworking, productive, mature, sophisticated, pure, clean, you know, righteous woman, okay, would fall in love with you. Now that's a conversation. But a conversation with a hooker? Hookers are hookers whether they're in Japan or the United States. Hookers are hookers whether they're in Thailand or North Korea. Hookers are hookers. I don't know any hookers that discriminates. There's a few. But I don't really know too many hookers that discriminate between who they're going to sleep with. You know what I mean? I mean, don't even brag about that, man. That's just nasty. Don't brag about crap like that, man. I want to hear that. Oh, you know, he's talking. I'm thinking, what do these women see in him? Then he starts talking about, oh, he goes to all clubs. He's talking about hookers. He's meeting with hookers. He's talking hookers. I'm looking, he's showing the camera. Maybe I can show it here. Maybe I can, hold up. Let me see if I can show it here. This is actually Ukraine. It's not. This is actually Ukraine. There he is there. He's one of them. Well, he's not the main guy. He's, you know. But this is Ukraine. He's talking about Ukrainian women. And then he talks about how he went to Japan too, and then all of a sudden, you know, I ended up on this channel called The Black Experience in Japan. But I started with him, and he, you know, if you look at the video, he's walking around looking at girls with his camera and all like that. But, you know, he's talking. He's talking about what him and his buddy have done and how they met women and all like that. And I'm going along with them. I'm thinking, wow, they just these, Ukrainian women. Those are white women, and they're white women that a lot of them lived in Ukraine all their life, so they don't really get into. They're not really ready to move into this thing of messing with black men. Okay. But then when they said that, oh, you can go to this place and you go to this place and you talk to the hookers, I was like, wait. Hookers? So you mean to tell me that you're traveling around the world and you're bragging about meeting up with hookers? Come on, man. Don't do it. There's this is his business here. I got to give him credit. I got to give him credit for being able to pull that off. And he tells you on here, if you need financial advice, there he is there. Now, the other guy was his buddy. But I mean, he's a handsome young man. What girl wouldn't want to hook up with him? But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, hookers? All right, I'll leave that alone. All right. This one here, this next one, I might close with this one. These two. I want you to hear what this guy says. But again, do blacks living in Asian nations act different than black Americans? Oh my God, yes. Even these guys that are going out there to travel in the world for hookers, there's something about money and knowing how to manage money and do different things with money and make that money move, make that money work for you, make that money get you around the world and get you meeting all these people and all like that. There's something about that will change a black man and make him put his depression of white supremacy away for a moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's, like these people are different. Like, these are the kind of black people that I want to live around. I'm gonna be straight up. Like, these are the people that would be crazy enough to leave America, leave the so-called Black Depression, leave his friends and family that's always crying racism, always crying the race card, and move to Japan. And they're the only ones there, like they're not going to walk out their door like I do and see black people every day. They're not going to go to work and see black people every day. Okay? They get in an altercation with somebody, it's not going to be another brother that looks like them. Okay? If they get arrested by the police, it ain't going to be black on black. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things that bothered me about this video is they kept on talking about, oh, well, the police here don't have guns. Like these younger guys, some of these guys are younger than others. Oh, the police here don't have guns. And I've never been arrested for anything. Okay, dude, I live in America. Okay? I'm not intimidated, number one, by cops having guns because I don't see cops just randomly going into black folks' homes and shooting them. No cop is going to knock on my door right there, okay, and come in here and say, oh, you're black. Bam, 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 bam. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. You had to be doing something that you shouldn't have been doing in America for you to have this much depression. Why are you so worried about cops? I mean, I'm not going to move to another country and say, oh, well, I like it here because the cops don't have guns. I like it here because cops just walk right by you. They don't say nothing to you. They don't bother you. Well, I feel the same way, but I live here in America. I'm glad cops have guns in America because there's some violent black folks here in America that will shoot you over a nickel. I'm glad cops have guns. Obviously, we're a bigger nation. We got more melting. We're a so-called melting pot, and we're constantly melting. So obviously, we would need guns in a society like this. Right? Come on. But what I don't understand about these guys, as much as I agree with them, I don't understand why they had to go to Japan to feel this safe. That part of it I won't understand. Because, let me tell you something, if you feel unsafe, and I said this in several comments to these guys on the channels, if you feel unsafe here in America, it's not because of white people. And it ain't because of cops. It's because of the so-called black community. Because if you're randomly walking down the street, like I can go take a ride up here. Last time I almost got pulled over by the police. I went to go see my friend, my white friend up here in Avalon, little town in Pittsburgh called Avalon. And it's pretty uppity up. You know, when you come over the cliff, over the hill, it's pretty uppity up there. Okay, and it's right next to Bellevue. My friend lives in Bellevue, but he was born and raised in Avalon and moved to Bellevue. So I had to rent a car with me, and the rental car got Ohio plates on it. All the rental cars here in the U.S. are shipped in from other states. They're shipped around. It's very seldom you get one with Pennsylvania plates on it. But I'm riding through the neighborhood, and there was a lady cop that was parked there. As soon as you leave downtown Bellevue and head into Avalon, there's a lady cop, like white lady cop, parked there, sitting at the entrance of Avalon, the end of Avalon, the turnaround there, before you get onto the main highway. So as soon as she saw me, and it was dark outside, and she looked at my plates, as soon as she saw me and saw that I had Ohio plates, she immediately pulled out and started to tailgate me. Okay? And she tailgated me until I got into the far left lane, because she followed me for about 3 miles. And then she stopped and made a turn. I went left. She went kind of like further left, like almost a U-turn, and went down over the cliff so she could turn around and go back into Avalon. But I was headed towards the city of Pittsburgh, you know, like downtown Pittsburgh, and that would have been out of her jurisdiction. Okay? But, you know, yeah, she almost pulled me over, and she would have pulled me over, but I got a rental car, number one, so whatever ain't right about the car, that's their problem. But the license and my signature on the documents and everything is right there in the passenger seat next to me. So bring it on, baby. I'm not worried about her. If she had pulled me over, I'd have said, "How you doing, officer?" You know. And yes, I understand we do that here in America. But the only people that should be worried about the cops or the people that are capable of doing or have done even crime. Okay, I mean, why are you worried about cops? Why do you need cops to have no guns? Okay? I'm spending too much time talking about that, but I just felt like, you know. And let me tell you, no Asian nation, getting back to Japan, no Asian nation will ever be a melting pot. Now, these guys can brag about Japan all they want to, And I'm going to go to this guy here. I really like him. I might turn the volume up and give you a little sound bite of what he was talking about. Way later on in the video, he said some very interesting stuff. I wrote it down. I'm gonna let you hear it from him. Let me go down here. Okay, this guy here on the right. Hold up. Okay. No Asian nation will ever be a melting pot. So this guy right here talking, right there, he's the host, and he thinks that he's encouraging black people to move to Japan. And while he's doing this, we already got Black Lives Matter trying to get their claws into Japan. They used the George Floyd thing to get their claws into Japan. George Floyd didn't get killed by Japanese police. George Floyd is an American. He got killed on American soil. I don't understand what that has to do with Japan. But they, like the girl said, they were very nice to let them protest, policing all around the globe, I guess. And the Asian nations all agree that policing in America needs to stop. Okay? But I agree with you, Random Yoko, that policing might have an issue, and I agree with that. He didn't need to put his knee in Floyd's neck like that. However, it ain't a black thing. It is a police thing. It ain't a black thing. It is a police thing. Okay? And you can say what you want to say, but all this is spearheaded by blacks. Sure, white people came to the protest. Like one lady tried to argue with me at work the other day. Oh, yeah, but there's white people at the protest. Okay? And there was Asian people at the protest. And there were Spanish people at the protest. So it wasn't just black people. Who was the majority of the people there? Who were the people that felt that we needed a protest in the first place? And who did the rioting and looting? The Asians didn't participate in the rioting and the looting. Now you can sit there and say that they tried to have a peaceful protest. Oh yeah, but who was able to be rented out by Antifa and Black Lives Matter to do violence? Oh yeah, there was white people there at the protest with you as long as it was peaceful. And then what happened? You turned around and start beating up on white people that are standing right next to you? And I've seen the clips of that. Biggest problem in America for black people is black people. If I moved to Japan like these guys, and this is one place, I've listened to 100 stories about Japan and different people of different races going to Japan, and there might have been a couple stories of some people crying a race card in Japan. But the thing is, if I went to Japan, I would not be afraid of these particular people, especially this guy here. I mean, he is really, 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 really one of them kind of black people, that I can look up to. The guy on my right here. He's one of them kind of black people that I really can look up to. But there's a lot of black people I cannot look up to here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, because y'all seem to think that y'all special. and you think somebody owes you something. Don't nobody owe you squat. People owe you about as much as they owe the white man. People owe you about as much as they owe the Asian man, the Spanish man, the Indian man. Okay? They owe you to get home safely. That's about it. They owe you to get home safely without killing your black behind. If you ain't committing a crime. It even rhymes. Let me say that again. Don't nobody owe you squat. They only owe your black behind safety to get home on time. Okay? As long as there ain't no crime. It even rhymes. See? Oh, this is fun. I want to hear the sound bites here, and then I'll I want you to hear. This is just a little bit near the end of what this man said. He gave some good advice to black people, and the advice that he gives to me is not just for Japan. It's for America. It's for America. It's for anywhere where you're dealing with people that don't look like you, that don't act like you. Good advice. I'm going to move this up a little bit, okay? I want you to hear what he's got to say. Okay.
Like, any advice for people, or how did you learn it, and maybe can impart some advice?
It's interesting. When I first came to Japan, I couldn't speak Japanese at all. It's an interesting language. I mean, it's tough at first to learn. It took me 2 years to be comfortable. I would go to parties with friends, and I would just sit and listen and watch how people, interacted with each other and try to pick up certain words. All the while I was studying on my own. Sort of haphazardly, but I finally did it. I eventually went to a Japanese Language Institute, an intense course, a 3-month course, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week for 3 months, and that helped tremendously. I mean, just learning how to count something, something as simple as bottles. Ippon, nihon, sanbon, yohon, and pieces of paper, ichimai, nimai, sanmai, and such. You have to learn that stuff.
Yeah.
Television helped a lot. Cartoons, like Sazai-san. Watching that, this is about a family, and all of the characters had names of fish, or fish eggs or something like that. And just seeing how families interacted with each other. It was a nuclear family. The kids lived with their parents, and the parents lived with the husband's parents, and to see the dynamics of how families interacted with each other. And this is a daily routine of the fathers going to work and playing catchball. Little things like that. One has to immerse oneself and stay away from foreigners for a little while, or at least sequester. Have just a little bit of time for foreigners and immerse yourself into the local culture. Go to, find a favorite restaurant or a pub and go there and talk to the people and build up your vocabulary.
Yes.
Everyday stuff. Some of the stuff in the books, that's great to know, but the best thing is to learn how to speak it the way you would speak it every day, and then go back and fill in the blanks of grammar and syntax and all of that,
Can you give us some advice on surviving and thriving in Japan over the long term?
Get your affairs in order.
Keep your
Pay your
affairs in
taxes
order.
here. Go to the tax office. If you're not quite sure what to do, go there and ask them. They'll be, willing to help. Pay your taxes. Pay your health insurance. If you break the law, don't get caught. Really. My taxes are in order. I pay my health insurance. whenever need be. My pension has been paid up at, I'm 59 years old, and at 59, that's when you make your last payment. I've paid it off all in one fell swoop. You can pay it off in installments, but I paid it off in one fell swoop and get that out of the way. Just stay ahead of that, because a few years ago, I let it get, out of control, and it was tough. Okay. And I had to really knuckle down and get that taken care of. Back taxes, back health insurance that I hadn't paid, and so now I'm debt free. Everything's paid up, and I'll never let that happen again. But for the long term,
How many of us black people are debt free? I'm not. Now, I know there's a lot of old people who, I commend them, okay, who have paid off their home. I meet several of them all the time, who have paid off their home and paid off their credit cards. And now they can use their credit cards, and they can do things with their money, since they don't have a pension, they don't make a lot of money after retirement, okay? But what's important is them standing up and being a leader to the other black folks, the younger generation that fall into those same traps. But no, this is the problem with the black community, the so-called black community, is the older people, like this old lady that I had this big extreme argument with the other day. Stop justifying bullshit. Excuse my French. Sorry, Christians. Makes me angry. Stop justifying and acting like we don't have a problem, because we do. I told her, you know what I told her? I says, look, I could sit in a room and watch every nationality of men and women come through them two doors. Who you think is going to speak and say hello to most? Who you think is going to say, have a good evening, sir or ma'am, the most? And she tried to do circles around it. But you know damn well that probably two out of 15 black people will say hello, good night, have a great day, okay? On the way out, hello, how you doing today, sir, ma'am, coming in. White people will come in there and say hello and good evening and have a great day. They'll even stop and have a conversation with you. On their worst day. On their worst day, they'll make sure that they speak to everybody coming in and out of the door. She says, well, you seem like you trying to keep the black man down. I says, that's your problem. How does a black man keep the black man down? You sound just as the bad as the people that you refuse to correct. You're going to go to your grave and you're not going to tell these people the truth. It makes me angry. It really does. I don't need to move to Japan in order to find peace and solace. I got it right here in the United States. Why? Because I'm doing the same thing these knuckleheads are doing in Japan. I don't have to go to Japan where they know they're not going to accept that crap. See, if these people were in the U.S., they would act different. But being in Japan makes them act different. That's why they get along. I got that coming up. I got that coming up. Hold on.
And then you create a life for yourself and make sure everything is done the way it's supposed to be done. Okay. And then you can sit back and relax and enjoy. I'm a gardener. You know, that's a hobby of mine. I cook, you know, and I go on YouTube and find all kinds of cooking channels and try it. And I'll contact the people who run the channel and say, oh, I tried your dish and it was fantastic.
Yeah.
And there's a Chinese woman who says, thank you so much, you know, or a Turkish woman, you know, and I said, I lived in Turkey, merhaba, you know, hello, you know, I tried your dish and it was fantastic. It reminds me of when I lived in Turkey 40 years ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean, you have, as I've said before, leave your baggage back at the port of disembarkation, or embarkation.
Leave your baggage back in the United States is what he means. Don't bring that black race card garbage over here to Japan, is what he's basically saying. Leave your baggage, all your black depression, Black Lives Matter nonsense over in the U.S. Don't bring it over here, because they'll do some kung fu on it and deport you like the next video I'm getting ready to go to.
You know, wherever you're coming from, leave your ugly baggage there.
Yeah.
Come here with a new mindset, with an open heart, with an open mind, and prepare for something new. You can stay who you are. Actually, you can grow as who you are. You can bring your culture here. I love jazz. I don't listen to it much anymore because I've heard damn near every song there is. I used to hang out in all of the jazz clubs in Tokyo, Satin Doll, After Six, the jazz coffee shops. You know, the jazz Kisaten, you know, the coffee shops where they play jazz. At certain hours you can't talk. It's just music being played.
Oh, wow.
And there's one near the ABC Bureau in Shibuya, Tokyo, and I would go there before work or after work and just, you know, listen to all the jazz greats. But yeah, so I mean, I've hung out with the jazz drummer Elvin Jones, and I mean, I can even show you this here. I did a concert with jazz pianist Onishi Junko.
Oh, that's you?
Yeah, that's me. And I read poetry.
Okay.
During her concert, I was on stage reading poetry, and I chose Maya Angelou. A rock, a river, a tree, host, a species long since departed, mark the mastodon, the dinosaur. That is on my license. That's how it is on official documents. Yeah, so when in Rome. Yeah.
What about people who want to get into, like, the industry that you're in Japan? Like, any advice for them? Because people might be wondering, like, how do I do this? Like, get to NHK or media?
Come equipped. Come equipped. Come with experience. It's very hard to try to get that experience here. I have, you know, my students at Temple University, you know, they ask me the same question. How can I get a job there? And I says, well, you need experience first. They don't do internships because it's too time consuming.
Okay.
You know, we have a newsroom to run, and we don't have time to be babysitting, you know, interns. Bloomberg Television, we had interns, and one of them, she's now an anchor at NHK. Yeah, come equipped. There is and you might want to meet this person here. I forget his last name. His first name is Tietzi. He's black, from South Africa, and he just started as a weatherman.
Okay.
With dreads, pulled up into a little bun on top, you know. Yeah, and it's fascinating to see. And that's, for me, what's so important in my career, was to pave the way for others to come behind me. And not screw up. It's like, oh, well, we hired that other black guy, and, you know, Robert Jefferson was terrible. You know, no. I think I've left, you know, a nicely paved path for others to come behind me, but come equipped.
So how can people find you online?
Well, you know, I don't do social media much. There's only one.
When you get deported in Japan, it's a kind of scary experience. I went there, and the first thing I noticed is that the service levels that you see all over Japan, you know, everybody bowing and everybody sumimasen, like that doesn't really fly in the immigration's office whenever you get deported, because deportees are treated very differently there. I witnessed a guy.
Welcome to the Melanated Files. In this series, we highlight and share the stories of black people from across the globe. Remember to subscribe to this channel for weekly videos, and also follow us on social media for regular updates. Let's get into the interview.
My name is Michael Harrison, aka 120, and I am from Brunswick, Georgia. I picked Japan just because I wanted a second opportunity to see what it was like. See, the first time I came out here, I was in the Marines, and this was my first duty station. I didn't know anything about Japan, had no interest in going to Japan, but when I came here, I fell in love with it. I've been...
Meet Chris, the only black man living on the Japanese island of Zamami. Chris is an American computer animator and 3D modeler. Today, Chris has been living on the island paradise with his family for almost 3 years. Zamami Island is a Japanese island in the Pacific Ocean. It is part of the Karama Islands group and administered as the village of Zamami in Shimajiri district, Okinawa, Japan. The village of Zamami is 16.74 square kilometers or 6.46 square miles, and as of 2013 had a population of 913 people. The islands are quite mountainous, and like much of the rest of Japan, the steep topography leaves relatively little level land for agriculture and inhabitation. During World War II, Zamami was a tourism, and 92% of the population is employed in the tourism industry. What up, Chris?
Oh, I'm on camera? Dang, man, you gotta warn me. I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm here.
So where are we now?
This is Zamami Island. I'm the only black man living here.
Hello.
This is the grocery store.
Sorta, kinda. Tomodachi.
Hi.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of The Melanated Files. My name is Ranzo, and today we are on a Zamami Island, still in Okinawa, and we're joined today by Christopher, right, or Chris. This is a beautiful island. I'm telling you, I feel like Tokyo will no longer be my home because this place is that beautiful. So Chris, I want you to introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Chris. I'm originally from California. I ended up on this island. I met my wife in California, and yeah, we decided that America wasn't the place for us to live, and we started having a family, having kids or whatnot, and we just like, hey, maybe we should leave. And here we are. I left everything behind. I left my job. I was a game artist, a concept artist. I was a professional QA guy. Worked for Google, worked for Microsoft, Sega, EA. And I left it all behind, and I'm glad I did. I have no regrets. Yeah, this is my life. This is our winter, and it's hot, and we're sweating.
You said you left all that, right? So you met your wife in the States, right? And then you guys got married in the States?
Yes.
And you decided to come back to Japan. Did
Yes.
she decide to come home, or what was
Well, it was kind of mutual. I started seeing. I'm the type of person, like, I would leave a company before they actually laid off.
I see.
I could see. I looked at I can see farther than my nose. So I kind of looked ahead, and I'm like, this isn't gonna work out. Life is pretty crazy here, and she wasn't liking it. She was missing home.
Okay.
And we just decided to make. It was pretty much cold turkey.
Yeah.
We decided pretty much overnight to just give up everything. The jobs. I sold my car in the blink of an eye. Just everything. Just gave it up. We took what we could, and we made the trip. And looking who I am. I think it's going pretty well.
What's it like with your sons going to school here and stuff and being mixed? What's that experience like? As parents, their parents.
It's actually it's a really positive experience. People don't talk about their race. If anything, they love that they're mixed. The girls come up and, oh yeah, they touch his hair and play with Hiro's hair, Ryoma's hair. They love them. They're interested because of the fact of course they look different. They speak another language as well as Japanese. But it's been positive, nothing negative. My wife, like I had talked about, I worked in tech, and I was stupidly thinking about moving up to mainland Japan somewhere. She was like, but the kids, it'd be more of a problem up there, where here it's not so much, you know, and they do get a lot of tourists here, so they're, I guess, used to seeing more people that don't look like them or act like them or speak like them. But it's been positive. Everybody accepts them. They treat them like just like one of the regular kids. And
That's good.
Yeah.
How often do you go to the beach and enjoy all that good stuff? Because like when I got off the ferry, like guys, this place is beautiful. If you guys saw the live stream or if you're following us on Instagram, you'll see some of the close-up shots, right? You'll see like a lot of good stuff in this interview about this, how beautiful the place is. So how often do you actually go to the beach?
I used to go all the time.
Okay.
I used to go all the time, and then that was when I was in the honeymoon phase. You know, I was a fish. I went all the time, but then, you know, life got real, and I don't go as much anymore. I still go snorkeling. It's good for the body, especially for muscle aches, all the minerals and everything. But I don't go as often.
So anyway, in closing, this guy here, his name is Chris Carmara. I mean, what he's done to move to Japan is totally way over my head. Like he's up there, man. I'm an artist. Well, I'm not an artist, but I'm a student artist. Haven't touched the paper to pencil to the paper to pencil since I don't know, since I was married. I stopped doing art in the middle of my marriage. But this guy has made a career out of it. He's also very mechanical. He knows how to do plumbing. If you listen to him talk, he knows how to do plumbing. He knows how to do landscaping. I was shocked to find out that they would let you get by in America by landscaping, but I think it's the art, because the Japanese people can beat you at doing landscaping. But he, on a mechanical level and on an educational level, he really does it right, as he was saying. His wife, I don't know if you heard that part, his wife makes more money than him. His wife is half black and half Asian. This is her culture. She makes more money than him. He ended up being a stay-at-home dad. So he's basically living mainly off his wife's income. But the work that he's done, staying at home, has hit, you know, high business. And so he's able to, they're living really, really great. As a married couple in Japan with biracial children. And I made some comments earlier today about, yeah, I dare you to have biracial children in a nation like that and send them to Japanese schools, you know, and stuff. And the next video, boom, yeah, I'm married to a mixed Asian girl. I've seen 2 videos like that. I'm married to a mixed Asian girl. We're all mixed. So I was wrong about that. I have to apologize. I was wrong about that. Okay, you can, okay. But I guarantee you, Japan will never become a melting pot. You want to invite all these black folks to Japan. You start coming in there, you know, like Indian refugees running into Europe, okay? They're going to put you all on a boat. It's going to be like they're going to put you all on, what was the name of that race boat that they put you all on? They're going to send you right back to America. They're going to send you right back to your so-called slave quarters. It'll never become a melting pot. When Japanese people walk outside their door, they want to see Asian people. They don't want to see everybody coming up to them speaking English. They don't want to see everybody coming up to them, you know, talking about, yo, you know. They don't want everybody looking, they don't, you know, black or white. They don't want to see that. They want to see people that look like them, Asian people. Okay, they will mix with Chinese, okay, and their enemies in Korea before they ever let Japan become pro-black, mostly black, become a black monopoly where black people are making all the money and all this kind of stuff. It's not going to happen. It is not going to happen. Let me close here.